the areas in the United States, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's district has been the hardest hit by the coronavirus. So you know that is somehow your fault. You racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic. I'm just going to stop because I could be here for days. I'm Katie Petrick, and this is Healthy Republic. It's fascinating to me that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's district and surrounding areas of New York City have become the epicenter for the coronavirus. And when I say epicenter, I mean for in the United States. Not to confuse a viewer who thought I had no idea where the virus actually came from. Wuhan. But it all fits because AOC has to be the center of attention. Just as COVID-1984 is becoming the only thing we talk about, AOC is becoming the only one who wants to be talked about. All the time. It's why she does her Instagram videos, because it allows her to get her angst and her anger out.
Okay, look at this. This is what we're doing on a Friday. In the richest country in the world, a member of Congress has to raise her own money to feed our families because the federal government won't.
Let's break that little bit down. First, I will say good on her for actually doing something productive, compared to, say, Nancy Pelosi, who is on her third pint of Haagen-Dazs for the day. Or is that brand just too lowbrow for her? But AOC's out there on a Friday, as she said. In the rest of America, that's a work day. Now, she's in the rain, so it appears that global warming got her again. Oh, those cow farts. But for her to bemoan being out on a Friday, doing something to help her constituents, translates to me as, suck it up, Buttercup. You're not going to melt. This also took place on International Workers' Day, or May Day, the day known as the Socialist and Marxist Party's holiday to organize labor movements and complain about class divide. Woe unto me. And that's just what AOC did.
Because the federal government won't provide rent and mortgage relief. Federal government isn't feeding people. Federal government is telling everybody to stay inside, but they're not going to help you make your ends meet economically. So this is what we have to do in the richest country in the world.
Because it's not the federal government's responsibility. That's it. But AOC wants complete government control. Government should pay rent. Government should feed every person 3 square meals plus that Haagen-Dazs. Government should control healthcare. And in exchange, you get AOC fighting for you, folks.
When we talk about who is getting impacted the most, it's the folks that don't have health care or are either uninsured or underinsured. It's communities of color that have long been impacted by the historic policies and the legacy of redlining, mass incarceration, and more. It is folks that have been living paycheck to paycheck on an hourly wage that is not enough.
So not you, Congresswoman. And definitely not you, Senator Elizabeth Warren, the woman who's probably been tipping back a few brewskis during this lockdown.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to get me a beer.
These women really can't see their own hypocrisy of all of this, as all politicians can. She continues to receive her paycheck, though the House has not been in session since April 4th. And who knows when they're going to go back because, well, Nancy Pelosi. But AOC is still collecting a paycheck from your pocketbook. So where's mine? Oh, and that's a nice personalized coat you have there to deliver meals. Wonder if that'd keep someone in your district warm tonight. Where's theirs? AOC also has her N95 mask on. Where's mine? Or forget about me. Give it to a nurse. There are more than 30 million Americans at home trying to figure out what to do moving forward because until this point, they had a job that they were allowed to go to. But then the government stepped in and said the businesses had to close because they aren't essential, but AOC is essential. So what's AOC doing during this time of uncertainty, angst, and real fear? She's right there with you. It's time for a confession. AOC's life got totally upended after winning her primary. And she's been working nonstop for the past year and a half. So she still has nothing up on most of her walls. And now she needs decorating tips for her apartment. I think you all might have a few tips for her. Just leave those in the comments section. I look forward to reading them and all of your other comments. Now, Over and over, she tries to make it seem like she's one of the working class people. Feel bad for her and all the struggles she is undertaking because big world order isn't doing enough. And due to our poor education system, she has plenty of people supporting it. AOC is out here in the rain delivering food in a wagon with money she raised to people in her district because we don't have a federal policy that supports working class people. It doesn't have to be like this. Salute AOC, the people's champ. And AOC approves of that message. As you can see, she retweeted it. But AOC doesn't even want you to be working class. She says not to work at all because then this will give her the opportunity to whine, squawk, and neigh.
When we talk about this idea of reopening society, only in America does the president, when the president tweets about liberation, does he mean go back to work? When we have this discussion about going back or reopening, I think a lot of people should just say, no, we're not going back to that.
What?
We're not going back to working 70-hour weeks just so that we could put food on the table and not even feel any sort of semblance of security in our lives.
So don't return to work to be able to put food on the table, but attend some of the story hours she is doing on her campaign website. The most recent just so happened to be on International Workers' Day. Invisibilized workers rise up, a storytelling hour with AOC. Warm fuzzies already. Wait, can you call yourself a worker if you aren't working because AOC told you to not go back to work if given the chance? How does that work? Maybe you can talk to AOC about that, along with some other things.
Talk to me. Talk to me about how Donald Trump is making America great again. Talk to me about it. This doesn't look too great. Doesn't look great to me.
Also not looking great is the fact that conservative Candace Owens was suspended from Twitter for tweeting that people should be allowed to go back to work. And the reason for suspension is left blank. Owens also told the Washington Examiner that she unequivocally stands by every single word of her tweet, and that if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez can use Twitter's platform to encourage workers to walk out and boycott, she should be allowed to encourage lawful citizens to resume work. Owens is not wrong, but we live in COVID-1984 where the AOCs of the world get to tell you what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Things don't look great to me. Thanks, China. It's been 84 years since some of us went into lockdown, and of course, it's gone full political. So I urge, beg, and plead for you to be your own epicenter of thinking and deciding how to continue on. Don't get caught up in the tempest and try to keep your head above water. Until next time, stay healthy, America.